you something special about Connect Satellite Broadband. A fixed broadband internet via satellite is a satellite in space that allows you to connect to customers anywhere in Nigeria. For you to connect with Connect Satellite, you don't need cables to receive internet. That means that you can get internet wherever you live in Africa, even far away from cities and in the forest of the mountains. Well, let's get talking our second segment of the show. There are indications that air travel has picked up again as the low period of February and March, when airlines barely had full flights, is over, a development that has brought excitement among industry stakeholders. Now, airline operators attributed the improvement, well, maybe to the Easter holidays and the fact that many travelers who shunned the airports when airlines increased base fare to 50,000 naira have made a turnaround and have started traveling by air, as insecurity has made the road travel more precarious. According to the recent release by the Air Transport Watch Report, that's by the National Bureau of Statistics, air transport fares in Nigeria rose by 28.26% from March 2021 to March 2022. With Africa being the largest market for passenger flows to and from Nigeria, the Nigerian aviation industry is the goldmine that could propel the nation to the fore of global competitiveness. Well, joining me to share more insights in this, he's live in the studio. Let's understand some issues around the aviation industry. He's an aviation analyst, of course, and a member of the Aviation Roundtable, Mr. Olumide Onwayo. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate your time, despite Lagos traffic.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Yes. NBS came out with a report and saying that air transport fare, of course, is high, and I think there's a little bit of pickup when it comes to passenger traffic. Tell us what you've seen and what is really on ground.
Yeah, I think I agree with your report. The only place of disagreement is the percentage given for the ticket rise, that's 28.8% to 8% between March 2001 and March this year. Obviously, it was more than 28.2%. It was about 70% increase.
Wow.
Because we moved from about 30,000 to 25 to 28,000 on the road, where if you book early, to now minimum of 50,000, irrespective of the time you book your flight. So that cannot be 28.5% increase. You're looking at close to about 90% increase, and the industry has come to live with it. This increase came before the increase in the aviation fuel. So I think that helped us that when the aviation fuel increased, the airlines could not increase their fare anymore. They had to stabilize on that. But on the international route too, you had airlines increasing their fare, but they did not move. That marginal increase that we saw in domestic route did not happen in international route. What we saw was about maybe 5% increase over about 2 weeks period, and 5% increase. It's going gradually, and that's why you notice of recent that the foreign airlines were saying they will not sell in naira again; they will sell in dollars. And when there was a reaction from the government, they quickly reversed themselves. But you can be sure that as they have reversed themselves, what will happen is you will not see any of those low fares anymore. It's the higher fares you'll be seeing, or rather, the traditional fares will now be transported into using the black market rate to sell those fares, and that will also automatically increase the fares. It's a bad time for the industry because of the cost of aviation fuel, the insecurity in Nigeria, and then also because of the infrastructure debts within the country. But by and large, the domestic market will continue to increase. It's increasing and will continue to increase as predicted towards the year 2040. And you were right when you said, sometime when the air fares increased, all passengers ran away from it. But I think they've sat down, they've looked at it thereafter.
It's the reality.
Yes, the train hijack happened in Kaduna, and I think with that train hijack, everybody lost hope in all forms of land transportation, whether it's by water, by road, or by train. So they're now coming back to the air transport, and I just hope we in the industry we show sympathy to Nigerians who have no choice now than to come to us and give them good service. Ensure that our services are prompt, we care for them, and get them safely to their destination.
So are you part of those that believe that increase was actually necessary, or it was inevitable, whichever way?
The increase was inevitable. What I did not agree was that percentage increase. I was expecting that it would be a gradual process. you know, you move maybe about 30-40%.
Yeah.
Maybe after about a month, you move just like that. But that's astronomical 90% increase and going around on all the blocks. Today, now it's only Green Africa who's having any fare below 50%. And you can understand that because Green Africa has so many stringent measures. You cannot check in your large baggage. You can only carry your hand luggage. You know, there are so many stringent. You will not realize until when you get to the counter. By then you get to the counter, you might probably pay more than that 50,000 by the time you start rolling out the things that are embedded in that ticket for you.
So some of the key issues that everyone knows that will shape the industry this year is issues around forex. You know that for real,
yes.
And aviation for these two things, and it's deregulated. It's not being the price is not being fixed. I mean, price of aviation for. How has this affected business so far?
You know, Nigerian government have not been able to remit the funds of the foreign carriers because of the forex crisis, and it's part of the reason why those airlines are saying they were not going to sell in Naira anymore, and even they're going to sell Naira, they would inadvertently increase the fares. That I analyzed before because of the forex crisis, and the forex crisis has also come to the Nigerian domestic market because the Nigerian airlines. And the aircraft are not produced in Nigeria. Most of the trains are not in Nigeria. Equipments are not in Nigeria. So they would have to go. They have to source for forex to get all this and keep the aircraft certified, operational, and to meet with all the regulatory requirements. And in doing that, they need to get forex. There's no special window for the industry, apart from the waivers they get from customs importation when they bring the thing, bring the equipment in. So if they have to source for the market, then it's a ticket fare. That we suffer this. And what you see now is that because of the rise in the increase in forex, the increase in ticket and passengers running away, some of them have also cut off some of the leases they have. They have reduced the size of the aircraft on some routes, thin out the route, and also you have noticed that there's a growing alliance within the industry. So that when I have to operate with this route, with this high cost of fuel, and I don't have enough passengers, I can put them on another airline, a sister airline. No, it's not more another airline, it's not a sister airline that will take them to that destination. That's why you can see that the alliance is growing. There are about 2 or 3 alliances now within the industry. We heard about the Spring. There's a Dana, the Ibom, you know, so many alliances, and these are supposed to help them in reducing their cost of operation, and most importantly, to make passengers get to their destination rather than sit at the airport and become uncomfortable.
As Nigerians, let's even talk about our national carrier. Let's talk about this as we move towards the elections. What is happening? We hear that something should kick off this year. Are you seeing signs?
I don't think it will kick off this year. I don't see that airline coming up as early as maybe 2023 because they're eager to present that airline before they depart May 2023. So as of today, we have not, there's no aircraft on ground. They've appointed an interim MD, which is Captain Dakpo Olumide, and they just advertising on the pages of this department, naming some board of directors to start the process of getting the AOC in place. I just hope the regulatory authority would allow them go through the same measures as they have done to other airlines. They must go through that process of obtaining AOC. And when that comes in, I don't see it coming before the end of the year. We're already in May. Yeah, we're already in May. So you're looking at about May 7-8 months. So I don't think it coming in. No matter how fast they want to push that in, I don't see that. But for the line of operation, it's possible that the airline will get operational before this end of this regime, May 2023. That I foresee would happen.
All right, now let's take a break. We have a commercial break and we'll be back. All right, thank you very much. We're still on the segment where we are discussing the aviation industry supported highly by Connect Satellite. Well, let's go on with our discussion. I still have Bisolumide Onwayo in the house live. Now, behind the cameras, we're talking about the concession of the 4 major airports in Nigeria, you know, and I asked you what is happening with regards to that. I hope the labor unions and everybody are in tune with this process, agreeing to the process.
I think as of now, I think everybody's tired.
Tired?
Yes. It's been 8 years. And from the day the minister came in, it was part of the roadmap, which includes the national carrier, the aviation university, aircraft leasing company, maintenance repair organization. As of today, I think it's only the aviation university in Abuja that's on ground, They just advertise for admission. That's what they want. But others are in the process. And now, this is the 7th year. And we are just barely we are barely about a year away to the handover process. So we are waiting. All the process they've advertised for the concession program. We expect those who the bids have been submitted. Now we are waiting them to open the bids and tell us those who have met with the conditions and others attached to the advert. So that's the stage we're in right now. Again, the unions, I think the unions are a bit tired because it was not the resistance you were getting before that we are getting now. What you are getting now is that we have people, professionals and individuals within the industry talking about the process and the procedure in place, and they want more transparency. They want it to be more of Nigerians being owning the airport. But in between, you notice they just opened the new terminal at the international airport, yes. And at that new terminal now, the big airlines, let me not say big airlines, the big airlines are saying they are not going to go there. You're talking about the European airlines, Emirates and co, because the airport is, yes, good facilities in the terminal, passengers will be coming, but they cannot bring their aircraft to pick passengers at the time. They would have to bus their passengers to where the aircraft is parked, because at the airside, the space available at the space for the aircraft is inadequate, and that's why you see Airpeace has gone in. AWA is a Ghanaian airline which has smaller aircraft. So those with the small aircraft can comfortably go there and operate, but those with the big aircraft cannot. And I think the government needs to do something around that. And I would just wonder how that approval was given for the terminal to be built there in the first place. And today, now you're not. Because all of this you put into consideration. Today we are demolishing buildings and trying to create how to get some space within the airside.
Worry something. I was also talking about cargo movement. Some are even telling us now that cargo movement is the profit is so much on the high side, other than even human cargo. What's the difference, or let's compare cargo movements and human?
Yeah, but you see, but cargo did not have the kind of restrictions that the human had during the COVID period, and the restrictions also include the cost of traveling. Outside the ticket fare, it was not easy to pay for the COVID test in Nigeria. If you're going to Ghana as at that time, before we broke down those barriers, you have to do a test here before going. You do a test on arrival in Ghana. Yeah. You do another test in Ghana before you depart. Yeah. And you do another test when you enter. Yeah. By the time when you add together the cost of this test, it's almost more than the ticket fare. So at times that killed international, not killed, that lowered the number of passengers on international travel. And that was why some airlines had to turn their aircraft to Kombi. Some even used their passenger aircraft to do some cargo services. And during the period of COVID, goods were moving. Medicals, food, supplements, goods were moving. So most airlines entered the cargo business during that period. Both private, commercial passenger airline and cargo airlines made a lot of deal. And the hero there was Ethiopian Airlines, who ferried most of the COVID materials that was needed within Africa. So we are picking up as Nigerian Airlines now to join in the cargo business and enjoy the benefits thereon.
Now, I'm also looking at this capital flight issue, and they're talking about setting up maybe a leasing company or a maintenance company here where we can service our aircrafts. Is that happening?
Well, it's part of the roadmap of the federal government under the Honorable Minister of Aviation. But happily, the Akwa Ibom State government have gone ahead to design and gotten partnership for their own maintenance equipment.
Wow! In country?
Yeah, in country, yes, in Uyo there. Wow. You have Airpeace working with the Anambra State government to set up a maintenance firm at the new Anambra Airport. And United Airlines is also working to do something in Enugu Airport. So the industry, the investors are not waiting for the federal government anymore. They are all going ahead. What you want to see the federal government do is do not hold them back. Do not tie their hands back for the one you are proposing. Let everybody come and sell what they have. The bigger, the more maintenance organization in the country, the better for the airlines. Among foreign investors, our airlines will not go out to take the aircraft out of Nigeria again, and that reduces their cost of operation. That also gives us good fares for you and I to fly, and airlines within the sub-region and even outside the sub-region can even bring the aircraft to Nigeria for maintenance, and that's more revenue for the federal government and all Nigerians.
So if we were to look at, because government will always tell you about ease of doing business. Let's make business easy. Let's make it all easy. Now, if we are to, free up the aviation space, what do you think are these quick wins for government if you are to advise government at this time? I know it's a
That's
different.
not, no, it's not. It's not. For me, I think first and foremost, if you ask me now, I will ask that government should face the infrastructure at the airport, since they still own the airport, and we need to move. We have a problem with the sunset airports. When I mean sunset airports, airports that close at 6 p.m. That has made such airports and such cities they hardly have any flight after 6 p.m. And when you don't have flight after 6 p.m., you have reduced the turnaround rate of the aircraft, the aircraft cycle, and once the aircraft cycle is not enough for the operator, it begins to make losses. So we need to increase the opening of the airport hours of the majority of our airports who are closed at 6 p.m. We need to move those airports to about 12 midnight. I'm not asking for 24 hours. You can let the international airport have 24 hours, good. But the domestic airlines, the domestic airport should be moved to 12 midnight at the closing time. That increases the number of operations, it increases rotations for airlines and aircraft, and also help in reducing fares. Because the more the frequency, the more people will feel free to say, okay, yes, I can go in the morning, I can return in the evening. But when you're held down by just to schedule because of the airport, that reduces. So I think the government should just work on improving its infrastructure and providing the policies rather than participating. And that's why I have my fear for the national carrier, because these are some of the investors. The people coming in to invest in national carrier, part of them are Nigerian. They're private investors. Like other investors are already sweating and milling through the processes. So why would those who are coming with the national carrier have more protection, more support, more subsidy than those who are already invested in the industry? They are all Nigerians. So what's going to happen is that when this government leaves, you start creating a room for sabotage.
Yeah.
They should learn from what happened to Virgin Nigeria. Was it the same scenario? They were protecting the Virgin Nigerian investors when President Obasanjo was there, and immediately when he left, you saw things changed. So we should learn from the past. So we don't return to what has happened happened to us in the past. So I wish us well. I look forward to the national carrier, but the national carrier must have. There must be that level playing field. The investors cannot be special than other investors on the ground. You can just show the land there. You have people from Airpeace, you have Asman. All these people have spent their money investing in Nigerian airspace. And more airlines are still coming. Even within the COVID, we've had two airlines. United Africa came in. And now Green Africa, United Nigeria and Green Africa, they're operating and they're doing very well.
All right, let me let you go now. But before I let you go, with all of these challenges, like I asked the lady when we talked about the industry, we need to continue looking at the outlook. What are your expectations for the aviation sector? This sector is very important, so we must really, what are your expectations?
Well, if that's my expectation between now and May 23, I can tell you.
2023?
2023, yeah.
Okay.
May 2023. Let's work on that. Let's work on 1 year.
Okay.
I can tell you the passengers numbers will increase.
Great.
There will be increase in flight services both on the commercial and the private and non-scheduled carriers. You know why non-scheduled carriers are going to increase? Because of the because of the elections coming up and the campaigns. People will charter jets to go to political grounds, to go and communicate their desires, to go and pick their nomination form, to go and negotiate and discuss with the people on how to move. So it's a period whereby the non-scheduled sector of the industry will smile into the bank between now and the election year.
Amos, thank you so much. Interesting conversation, and thank you for your time again. Solomide Owayo, there is an aviation analyst. Thank you. Do enjoy your weekend.
Thank you for having me.